One time, like really interesting thing happened to me was summer tour in '89, and it was like we were in Giant Stadium, and it was crazy weather, like thunderstorms, like intense. We had field passes, and they were clearing the floor because of lightning, and it was definitely one of those days where I probably was a little liberal with what I had taken chemically. And so I was definitely having a time of it, but it was all good. And I think we got back down and the show started, and it was definitely a little intense for me. And at the set break, I was sitting pretty close up to the stage, and there was like a backstage access, and these kids came out. They were kids. They were probably my age. Who knows? And I was definitely like having a hard time and just trying to keep myself kind of going. And I was hanging out by myself because sometimes it's just easier to be by yourself at a show, because you just get to flail around and do your thing, and no one's no one's doing anything to you. But these kids started to kind of harass me, and it was really weird because they had like the backstage lanyards on, and like I was like, why would they trip on me? And this kid's like, what do you think, you're some hippie? Are you stoned? Are you stoned, you hippie? Like, and I'm like flying, and this couple of guys next to me, one of them just kind of moved over and was like, hey, told these kids like, hey, why don't you leave this guy alone? Why don't you guys get out of here? We don't need this kind of energy around. And it was really cool because he kind of definitely protected me, and then he was like, made sure, he's like, hey, oh, you're all right, let's hang out. Kind of worked through it. Band came back on stage. It was all good. Pretty cool. But fast forward like maybe 2 weeks later, or I guess a week later, we're at Alpine Valley again, and I happen to see him, and he's like in a similar predicament, and he is, I hadn't seen him since Giant Stadium, and I see him sitting on the lawn, and he is like, having a bad time. And I was able to just like say, hey man, he recognized me, sat down with him for a little while, and till he got, back on his feet, and poof, never saw him again. But I really feel like there was some connection there. There was some reason why, it was like payback, the infinity circle, I guess. And that one's always stuck with me for a while. I'd love to see him again, but probably never will.